as a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
A cryptologic technician, yeah, Mr. President of the United States. That was Donald Trump speaking at the Arlington National Cemetery today, only hours after posting perhaps the most unhinged Truth Social post I've seen in my life. Now, just to back up for a second, I did a panel on Piers Morgan Uncensored today. You can find it on his YouTube channel. It's with Lindy Lee, it's with Russian propagandist Benny Johnson, and fitness instructor Jillian Michaels for some reason. Now, if I wasn't on that panel, they wouldn't have had a liberal or a left-leaning perspective. It would have been just an echo chamber. So I decided to hop in. I got invited, and I said, of course, I'll come talk about, unfortunately, it was all about Biden's mental acuity. But the thing is, they were trying to pin me down on Biden's quote-unquote cognitive decline, which he did get older near the end of his term, absolutely. But even when Biden was at the very end of his term, nothing he posted was ever even as close to what Donald Trump posted at 6 a.m. this morning. He wakes up on Memorial Day. That means this dude might have had this typed up the night before, ready to post it. It says, "Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country, blah, 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 many of them being criminals and mentally insane." Dude, you want to talk about criminals and mentally insane? We can have a good conversation about the President of the United States. Through an open border, rapists, gang members, release prisoners. This is the inflammatory type of rhetoric that Donald Trump has normalized. And then if Biden says like the wrong word, or if somebody puts seashells on a beach like James Comey did, all of a sudden we just entered a new escalatory era of politics where Democrats are trying to start a civil war, or whatever Republicans say. Meanwhile, Trump tweets out demented posts on a daily basis. It says, hopefully the United States Supreme Court and other good and compassionate judges throughout the land will save us from the decisions of the monsters who want our country to go to hell. I love how the President of the United States is always like teetering on a manic meltdown, basically. He's always in like a paranoid state with no reality tests around him, just posting these insanely cringe, performative messages. But it gets even worse. Because then he continues to say, our nation is staging one of the greatest comebacks in history. Dude, one thing that Trump's right about is that he's altering the global order, but not in a good way. The global order that started, let's say, during the Clinton administration, and then proceeded throughout Bush and then Obama. I'm not talking about the foreign policy of like the Middle East. I'm talking about the trade policy that Trump is trying to upend. This benefited us. Entering the World Trade Organization with China benefited us. All of this stuff has benefited us in many ways, and Trump is trying to undo these Obama era or Clinton era trade policies, which is very, very dangerous. Trump then posts a bunch of performative posts. Can I remind you, at Arlington National Cemetery during the campaign, one of his staffers reportedly got very aggressive and physically assaulted one of the Arlington National Cemetery workers because they were trying to go into a prohibited zone. Let's watch this viral clip of Trump speaking today with Pete Hegseth and JD Vance in the background wearing the red cult ties. I love this. I love how just weird this administration is. This is like the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Okay, sorry.
Sacrifice would mean to us, but we certainly know what we owe to them. Their valor gave us the freest, greatest, and most noble republic ever to exist on the face of the earth.
They wanted me to talk about Biden's cognitive decline on the panel today, which I'll make a video out later. I'll make a video about it in a bit. Make sure you hold out for that. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications, by the way, because I kind of did do a 4v1 on Piers Morgan today, and I'm excited to show it all to you. But the point is, they were trying to grill me on Biden's cognitive decline, which there's a conversation that we can have there, but not right now. Not when the President of the United States is talking like this while breaking every norm, while trying to end birthright citizenship via executive order somehow.
A republic that I am fixing after a long and hard 4 years. That was a hard 4 years we went through.
Who's we? It was hard for the American people who, were suffering under inflation due to your COVID policies, due to your insane spending during your first term. It was a hard 4 years for the Americans who had to deal with the aftermath of your BS, and now it's going to be an even harder 4 years. Now, Biden's presidency was actually quite solid. The economy wasn't perfect for a lot of extrinsic factors, but when all was said and done, him and Jerome Powell stuck the landing with a steady hand, and I will continue to say that. I will continue to say I think Biden's presidency was an economic success despite the uphill battle that he had to face. Now, there's still a lot of wealth disparity and a lot of problems, but the idea that the American people were suffering because of Biden is not true. Biden was helping the American people. The American people, if they suffered from anything, it was sort of a post-COVID inflation reversion to the mean.
Who would let that happen? People pouring through our borders unchecked, people doing things that are indescribable and not for today to discuss.
What is Trump going to be speaking about in 2 years, I wonder? Like, if he's still cognitively there enough to be speaking, like, he can't keep mentioning Biden or Obama, or can he? Let me know in the comment section. In 2 years, will Trump still be blaming everything on Biden? That would be...
Even for a moment that freedom is a gift of the highest cost and peace is won at the most precious price. These extraordinary American heroes and their immense and ultimate sacrifices, they offer only the faintest glimpse at the infinite grace we have received from all who laid down their lives for America.
I'm glad the President of the United States can just barely read. Just barely read. So he's sounding out the words. Keep in mind, while Trump is up there performatively barely reading off a teleprompter saying that he respects our troops and peace comes through great, great cost, Vladimir Putin is drone striking the hell out of Ukraine. A historic amount of drone strikes. The largest amounts since the beginning of the war because Trump has allowed him to. Trump has created the permission structure for Vladimir Putin to do that, and Biden froze him out of the global order. Biden froze Putin out of the global order and was very, very solid. Meanwhile, Trump is sitting here slurring his words, pretending like he cares about veterans while actually stripping funds from the VA, firing workers at the VA, and posting insane shit. Like, let me go back and find this. Then he tweets about Harvard. Then he talks about grant money. I am considering taking $3 billion of grant money away from a very anti-Semitic Harvard. Wow, this guy is a true patriot, huh? And then we scroll all the way down. This is the craziest post ever. How can you say that you care about veterans when you're stripping funds from the VA, firing people, when you've repeatedly made nasty comments, when you make a speech at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day, a campaign speech, not even any different than a campaign speech, it's performative. And, you know, on the Piers Morgan panel today, again, I'll make a video about it, I talked about this. They tried to bring up veterans. They tried to say because of Biden's decline, 13 people died in Afghanistan. And it's like, come on. Number one, Trump created the timeline for that proposal. Number two, the 13 members that died, that is incredibly tragic, but Republicans can't now claim to care about service members. It's incredibly performative when this is what Trump posts today. And I tried to call that out on the Piers Morgan panel. Go check it out on his channel. I'll make a video later. Other than that, I appreciate all his support. Thank you for every single second you all spend with me. It means more than you know. We will continue to build up this community, push back by posting facts, and it couldn't be done without you guys. So again, thank you. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.